Hey everybody, this is Robert Burke and welcome to When to Play. Today I'm going to talk about a little card game called Red7 by Osmati Games. This game, when I was at BGG-Con this year, everybody was buzzing about this game. Everybody was talking about it, everybody was playing it. I didn't get to pick up a copy at BGG-Con, but I did get one for Christmas. So I will say that we've played this a bunch in our group. It's a very quick little card game. It's basically just a deck of cards, but it's got some very unique mechanics that I think you may enjoy. First, the card quality. Talk about the quality is very good. The cards have a slight kind of linen finish to them, and they're good. They're a good weight. They shuffle really good. I think the card quality is just fine. The rule book is well done. The rules are very simple to understand. It's got some nice, illustrations on setup and throughout the book and examples. So very easy game to learn. Even if you don't have a teacher, the rule book will definitely teach you pretty quickly how to play this game. It's a pretty straightforward game, even with some of the advanced variants that come with it. It also has some player reference cards, which are great. There are 7 different suits of cards, which are different colors. So red is the most valuable, and it goes down to violet. So there's 7 different colors, and each color has 7 cards from 1 to 7. So the higher card is best, which will win a trick or a round. And if there's a tie, then you break the ties in the color order, with red being the most valuable and going down. The back just has the advanced. There's an advanced rules variant, and there's some symbology on some of the cards, and those symbols will let you execute extra ability. So that's what the back of the card is for. The artwork, the graphic design is fine, I guess. It's very, very basic. Every card has a color. Like this is a yellow card, clearly. It is a 2, and you can see the 2 in the top left-hand corner on either side, so it doesn't matter which way you hold the card. And then on the side of the card there is text, and that text changes the rules of the game. And every color has a different rule on it, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the graphic design, I guess, is fine. The artwork is really non-existent. I guess the theme is painting. They talk about the canvas and the palette, and there's lots of different colors, and it's really not that exciting, I don't think. I think I would like to see a better theme. I mean, it's really an abstract kind of card game, so the theme really doesn't matter. But it'd be nice to see. I think this is a game that could really, where they could license it out or do a whole bunch of different thematic decks with different kinds of artwork, which would be very cool. And if the publisher's listening, I would love the license to put some art on here, whether it's, science fiction or fantasy or dragons or whatever. I think there could be a ton of different Red 7 decks that would make it interesting. But it's fine. I mean, it's not important, really, because really the game is about the mechanics and about thinking ahead. So the theme doesn't really matter. It's non-existent. It is, I think, completely fine. It's just my personal preference. I like to see artwork and stuff like that. So anyway, how does the game play? Pretty simple. You're going to start with this card in the middle, and that card tells you how to win the round. So this card says you are currently playing red. The highest card wins. So when that's in the middle, if I play a 2 and I'm the first player, I play a 2, I'm winning because nobody else has played a card yet, so a 2 was the highest card. The next player has an option. If the next player played a 7, for example, they would be winning because 7 is higher than 2. Very simple. So basically the premise of the game is on your turn, at the end of your turn, you have to be winning the game at that point in time or you're out. Then you place all your cards that are left face down in front of you and you're out of that round, and people keep playing. So if you cannot win, like for example, if I didn't have a card to beat a 7, what I could do then is I could change the rule, like you'll see here. This, if I play a card to go over on the canvas, they call it, I would place it over, and now this new win condition is in effect. Like this one says the most of one color. So if I had, let's say I had already a blue 2 down, and I had to beat a red 7, that was the highest card, I could play this to change the color and play another blue card. Now I have 2 blue cards, so I have the most of one color, so now I'm winning. So on your turn, you can play 1 card to your palette, which is like your tableau, and if you're winning with the current rule in effect, you've passed that turn and it goes to the next player. Or you could play 1 card to the canvas and change the rule. So that means that if the cards in my tableau are winning after I do that, then I have passed and it goes to the next player. I have succeeded. Or I can play 2 cards. I can play a card to the canvas to change the rule, and then play a card to my tableau, and as long as I'm winning, I stay in the round and it keeps going. So that's it. So you start with 7 cards in your hand. You can play 1 to your palette or your tableau, you can play 1 to the canvas to change the rule, or you can play both, all right, to stay in the round. So when you play both, that's not really good because you're burning. A lot of this is hand management and trying to preserve your cards, right? Because if you have to play a card and cannot, then you're also out. So when you have to change the rule and play a card, that's really not the most optimal move. But what's interesting, and I think why people really like this game, is it's very interesting when you have all the different, you have to look at all the rules in your hand and all the different numbers and all the different colors and kind of decide which ones you want to preserve for the future, which ones you can throw away, which ones you want to keep to change the rule if you need to, all while you're trying to preserve your cards and outlast your opponents on a round. So that's, it does have a lot of that forward-thinking stuff. Now, it's a card game, so there are going to be people that don't like it because they don't like the random draw of a card. So I don't know why people rate games. If you hate randomness, why are you even playing a card game, right? Card games, by definition, have random elements. So I could draw a horrible hand, right? In any card game, I could draw a horrible hand. That's just the way it is. If I'm going to roll dice, I could roll horrible numbers. It's a random element. However, there is a lot of forward thinking and strategy in this game because you have to really think about, which cards you should play while thinking about future hands. If I play that now, I could be winning this round, but then I won't be able to win all of the same color later. If I keep that card, then if I have to, I can maybe change the rule and stay in the game. So that kind of stuff happens a lot in this game, and that's why it's so interesting. It also plays very quick, so that's definitely a plus. A couple other things about the game which are interesting. Like I said, there are this advanced variant. You'll see up here there's this icon, and that just gives you some more options that you can do, and that's on the back of this player card. Like for example, one of them is play another card from your hand to the palette. You can still discard even after playing multiple cards. And then there's one that lets you discard a card from your palette to the canvas, so from your tableau, to change the rule. It must be legal, so you must be winning the new colors game. So that makes it a little deeper, and we haven't played that much yet, but I definitely am looking forward to playing with that variant more. I think it's going to add even more depth to the game. So who is this game for? This game is great for a game group as a filler. It is fast. There is enough depth to keep people interested. My group mostly liked it, but I'll say that there were some people that didn't like it at all. There was one person who played it one time and just totally didn't click with him at all, didn't like it. I think it's fantastic. I enjoy it. I don't know if it's going to be something I think gets played often, maybe not all the time. But I think it's a game that's not going to burn out on us either. Sometimes you get a filler game and you play it for weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks constantly as a filler, and then you never see it again. This is a game I think we'll see. We're not going to play it every week a lot, but I think we're going to pull this out consistently for years, because I think it's a fantastic, quick little filler. And it plays up to 4. It's only 2 to 4 players, and it says 5 to 10 minutes, and I think that's about right. Another interesting thing is the scoring. To win the game, depending on the numbers of players, is how many points you need to score. And you score points by, if you are the last one in to win a round, whatever you won the round with, you get to keep the cards that you won that round with. So if I won the round with the highest card, because the rule was highest card wins, and I won with a red 7, I would score 7 points. All right. If I won with a card that was the most cards below 4, and I had a 2, 2, 3, and a 3, then I would score 6, 7, 8, and I would score 10 points, because I would count all 4 of those cards that counted. Depending on the number of players, you might need to score 30 or 40 points, and whoever gets there first wins. Also, what's interesting about that is when you win those points, that card is out of the game as points. So like if I won with that red 7, I've got those 7 points, but everybody knows that red 7 is no longer in the game. So that throws another little layer in there that I think is very cool. So as we usually do, let's look real quick on Board Game Geek and see what some people have said about Red 7, who rated it high and who have rated it low. So first things first, Red 7 is currently one of the top 1,000 board and card games on Board Game Geek already. This is a game that has not been out long, so that's really fantastic. So a lot of people have been buying this game. A lot of people have been loving this game. And there's a reason for that. So let's see what some people who've rated the game a 10 have said. Kelvin says, extreme, smart, and refreshing design since 2000. A snap call after hearing the rules. This didn't happen for 7 years. Very nice party game and for hardcore players. Todd says, the best filler I've ever played. 14 games of it played this month alone. December. It's fascinating. Then John just says, a perfect game. I think it's a great game. I think that praise is something you should pay attention to at least try the game. Not everybody's going to like every game, but I think this is a game you're really gonna that you really should at least give a try to. So let's see who rated it low. So Chad has rated the game a 2 and says, for such a simple concept, you would think it would be hard for a game to fall flat on its face, but Red 7 did. Even with the added rules for scoring, drawing cards, and special abilities, this game felt lifeless. There is no theme to help you out here, and the mechanics are simple, devoid of decisions, and uninteresting. The biggest problem is that this game lacks an identity. There's nothing unique about it. A void. All right, well, I think Chad speaks a little bit to what I talked about, the lack of theme. But again, this is, it's like, should there be a theme on Uno, right? Or should there be a theme on, I don't know. I was going to say Jenga, but that doesn't really apply. I'm thinking of other card games who are themeless. Should there be a theme on poker? There doesn't need to be, right? Because the mechanics are what drive the game, and that's what kind of game this is. So yes, there is really no thematic tie-in to Red 7. And if there was a thematic tie-in, if somebody did a set of Red 7 with with zombies or whatever, or dystopian universe, it would just be a pasted on theme. It would be more pretty to look at, but it wouldn't really tie to the mechanics at all. So just keep that in mind. But I don't know if I really agree with anything else Chad said here, that the mechanics are simple, devoid of decisions, and uninteresting. I think he's right about their simple, but devoid of decisions and uninteresting. No, I don't think Chad gets it. I don't think Chad gets it. There's lots of great decisions in Red 7, and that's why I think the game is doing very well. Because you really have to think about not just the numbers you're holding in each hand, right? But the colors that you have in each hand, what other players have already played, and what rules you have, right? What rules you can change to. You got to think ahead. You got to think for future rounds. You got to preserve your cards. You might always want to opt for playing one card instead of two, but not always. So there's a lot to think about to stay in a round. It's not a mindless, I'm playing my hard card and I'm playing my low card. It's not like that. You really do have to think ahead in this game, and there is some strategy involved. But again, it's a card game, so you might not have the cards to be able to win around, but it is a fast, fun little filler game, so that is okay. Not every game has to be a deeply strategic, I can control everything game. All right, if you're one of those gamers, more power to you. I love those games too, but sometimes you just want to sit down and not think too hard and have a good time and laugh with your friends before you move on to the next game. And I think Red 7 fits in that genre. When should you play this? Like I said, as a filler with your game group. I think you should also play this with your family. This is a game you can play with your family. You can teach this game, it's very simple, to your mother and your grandfather or your cousins, to people who aren't gamers, maybe on family get-togethers or Thanksgiving or a rainy day. You know, when games come out, you could teach this. Very, very simple. I think it is very accessible. I think this game could have a good shot at being a big mass market game. That's the kind of game it is. But it's got enough interesting mechanics and decision points where gamers, I think, will find it appealing as well. So that's huge. I mean, to create a game that can appeal to gamers and can appeal to the mass market of non-gamers whose collections only have mass market games, that's a big deal. So I wish Red 7 the best. I hope more people play it. I think it's worthy of the praise it's been getting, and I hope this review was good for you. Give it a try, and if you do like it, another great thing about the game is it's very, very inexpensive, so you can pick it up for a pittance. Again, my name is Robert Burke, and thanks for watching. Bye.